It's joke.
Hello, viewers, and welcome back to Kokomimi's AI presidential D&D campaign. Today's episode is a short, special episode before we jump into the next act of the campaign. You know that it isn't the end of an arc on this channel unless we do a special point 5 episode. Haha. We'll skip the intro and go over it in the next episode when we start the next act in earnest. Today, we'll be catching up with Merrick a little and seeing what he has been up to in Harmonia.
I assume that I'm going to be meeting up with the gang very soon.
Yes, though it all depends on how they play out the first episode. I won't go into too much detail since we should save all of the information dumping for when the party reunites.
I'm happy to see that the comments haven't forgotten me.
Yeah, on just about every video, we get a comment that says, #we want Merrick.
Nice, thanks for not forgetting me, guys.
There is a saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder. I suppose it must be true.
Getting back to the game, Ben, there's no one else at the table with me. Are we really going to have a D&D session solo? Is that even possible?
No worries. I have something fun cooked up for you this session. Like I said, the viewers want to see how you're doing. It's been too long. We open this session in a dimly lit room with vaulted ceilings above towering bookshelves. Marrack, before you, sits a stack of paperwork on an old wooden desk and a writing quill splotched with ink. A tiefling working nearby stops his writing and passes you another bundle of papers to add to the stack. He is one of your many co-workers in the records office, a dreary and gloomy place managed by Ento and a slew of her employees. The office's main work is to keep track of the names of those who enter Harmonia, or else keep watch over the monsters and beasts newly formed in the wasteland.
Hold on, pause. Ben, are you making me roleplay an office job in Dungeons & Dragons? You're making me roleplay. Paperwork? You can't be serious.
Bear with me for a bit. Anyway, Merrick, as you finish another form, you must bring it to Irilith, another of your co-workers who is responsible for keeping up the books. As you pass the completed form to her, she scans over the writing and then pulls out a book from a shelf, running her fingers down the pages.
Another report of a disappearance? I'll find their entry in the books soon enough.
She gestures to the towering shelves behind her. One name out of thousands, maybe millions. Names in the books that have disappeared without notice. Names in the books of those who have been trapped for millennia. It is your office's task to oversee it all and keep track of the names.
Has Miss Ento come yet? I have some reports to give her.
You haven't seen her today, Merrick, but Ento usually comes to the office around this time.
I haven't seen her, but I'm sure she'll be here soon.
Ask her to stop by my desk when she comes in. Will you? She wanted to know how many more have disappeared this week. I have the totals calculated.
I'll do that. I'll send her your way when she comes in.
You resume your work, with time passing by without your notice. It could be passing slowly or quickly. There is no way of knowing in the dreary landscape of Harmonia. There is no day and night cycle, no change in the weather, no way of knowing how time has passed aside from the click, click, clicks of a clock, the only thing in Harmonia that tracks your time.
This place sounds like hell. Remind me to turn up the fireball when I see Donna.
A short giggle in front of your desk interrupts your work.
Sure, I'll make note of that. It might happen sooner than you think. Your friends are on their way here as we speak. Last I heard, they crossed over the portal in the mountains. As soon as they make it through the Sea of Mist, you'll be together again. If they can make it through the mist.
The Sea of Mist is a region of wasteland surrounding Harmonia's capital city. As the name suggests, it is covered in mist and hides legions of undead lost in the fog. It is treacherous, dangerous, and can be as tricky as the Feywild.
I'm sure those guys will be fine. They've been through plenty. Of course, I'm not opposed to them getting a little beat up along the way.
Seems a fitting punishment for what's happened to you, huh? Regardless, it'll be interesting to see how you feel about them when you're all reunited.
Merrick, you note a familiar, subtly malevolent gleam in Ento's eyes as she speaks. She has the same eyes as Mem, though thus far, the two of you have been allied.
We'll see how things work out when we get there.
Of course. And I'll be happy to serve as a guide to help you and your friends here in Harmonia. Once they arrive, you'll be free to leave the office.
Really, any severance pay?
Sure. Whether we like it or not, the goddess has instructed me to do this, so I must obey. The same goes for you and your pact.
By the way, and slightly off topic, Irilith asked that you go speak with her. I think she has a report ready for you.
Yes, I'll do that. Even with all these assistants, I can't escape all the aspects of this job.
She bounces over to speak with your coworker and leaves you back to your work, though she doesn't stay gone for long.
Come, Marrack. We need to visit one of the lower floors. One of the disappearances was with a particularly old one, and their record is probably stored away in the basement archives.
And you need me because?
I need a big, strong lad to carry the books back up here for me. I don't have the strength to lift them.
My strength is 8. I don't think I can lift much.
Don't be like that. You can do it if you put your mind, or muscles, to it.
Right. I'll give it my best shot.
Ento takes you down from your office into one of the lower floors of the building. As you walk down the halls, you remember what it first looked like when you entered this workplace. The records office is located in a large tower that grows taller by the year, with new floors added to accommodate more and more names. In another millennia, will the top of the tower pierce the sky of this strange plane? You and Ento continue the trek to the basement. There is a slight buzzing in your ear, Merrick, before you hear the tiniest whisper.
Break away from her when you reach the basement. I would speak with you.
Aye.
Don't speak. Break away from her. I'll be waiting until it's quiet.
Did you say something?
I've never been down to the basement before.
I haven't been down in a long while, so it's sure to be a mess.
The magical elevator that has been transporting you finally reaches the bottom of the tower, which is actually several floors underground. As the doors open, stale air hits your nose. Apparently, it's more than you, Merrick, who haven't been down here in a while. Seems like no one from the tower has been down here in a long, long time.
So, what are we looking for?
A name from one of the old books, probably shoved in a storage closet somewhere.
The bottom floor has a number of rooms, several of which are shoved full with boxes and scraps of wood, trash, and other items. The basement also features a small greenhouse area with old planter boxes and a large center room with a wood floor. The bottom of the floor is hollowed out, and blue magic seeps throughout the halls, emanating from a large blue crystal.
Do I know what the crystal is for?
Roll Arcana.
I got a 9.
Although you don't recognize this magic well, you know enough about the tower to see that the upper floors and levitating portions of the tower are supported by this magic.
Oh, neat.
Let me put up a map of the bottom floor for you.
I'm cautious since this looks oddly like a battle map.
Kind of. You can go into combat if you want, but I wouldn't suggest it. Instead, you are trying to separate from Ento and get to a certain location on the map. The end goal is the upper hallway on the right-hand side. You can use any manner of stealth or cunning to get there. The beige portions of the map are traversable area, but pay attention to blocked paths.
All right. Interesting.
I'll start you off with a little hint. You and Ento take a right down the hallway and then a left. Inside is one of the storage closets of the floor, mostly empty aside from a dark bookcase.
Huh? I feel sorry for those this far down the record. They've gotten shoved in a closet, for real.
Can I push her inside and close the door to start my getaway?
Sure. Roll a strength check.
That's an 8.
You surge forward to shove Ento into the closet, but she won't budge. She turns back to look at you, an eyebrow raised and a nasty grin on her face.
Did you just try something?
There was a bug on your shoulder.
Roll deception.
Is a 13 good enough?
Ento squints at you. She doesn't believe you, but she's choosing not to say anything more. Her focus shifts to the bookshelf, and she runs her hands over each bound record.
Since she's distracted, can I slip down the hallway?
You can, but it might trigger some time turns.
Sure, fine. I'm going to slip down the hallway without her notice.
Roll for stealth this time.
16 this time? That's good.
Yes, it is. Merrick, ahead of you, at the intersection of hallways, the floor glows with light blue magic. Some sort of spell has been cast on the floor here. What would you like to do?
Do I know what the spell does?
Roll Arcana. I'll let you roll with advantage this time.
Another 8. I am not rolling too well on some of these, even with advantage, dang.
Oof. Sorry. Looking at the magic on the floor, it is vaguely familiar to you, but you aren't sure what the spell might do. The only thing you can tell is that it probably won't cause you much bodily harm.
Probably. And much. You're not good at assuring someone, Ben.
Hey, we've got to keep up the tension.
Well, I'm not touching the spell if I can help it. Can I jump over it?
You can, but you'll only be able to jump to the hallway directly across from you.
Looks like there's another spell just ahead, so I'll run into the same problem. Will ento be able to see me down the hallway, even if I'm that far away?
Considering no one else is down here and the hallway is pretty clear, yes.
Okay, I think I have a plan. First thing I'm going to do is jump over this magic area here. Are you going to make me roll?
It's far enough that you can make it. However, once you start, we're moving to turn-based mode.
Is ento going to immediately notice?
You'll have a turn to move before you grab her attention.
That's all I need. So I jumped over the first magic area, and now I'm in the middle of the hallway.
And turn-based mode has started. You have limited movement, so make it count.
I've got it covered. First thing I'll do is jump over this other magic area.
That will take up your action for the turn.
Not a problem. As a bonus action, I'll cast Expeditious Retreat, which allows me to dash as an additional bonus action.
Ah, I see. So once you cast the spell, what is the plan?
I'm running up here and taking a left to hide around this corner where ento can't see me.
Very clever. Then it's Ento's turn. Finally noticing that you've moved away from her, she comes out of the closet and glances around the hallway. Thinking that Merrick might have come back from the hallway you both entered, she moves back to the entryway of the basement. That will end her turn.
So she's out of the way and I can go back into the hallway without being seen, but the thing is, how am I supposed to get to the horizontal facing hallways if I can't jump over the magic and onto the other pathways? Could I use Misty Step?
Let me see the description of that spell
It's up to 30 feet to an occupied space.
that you can see.
Right.
Unfortunately, Merrick, all around the magic intersections are columns that block you from seeing into the other hallways.
I think you made that up on the spot just so I couldn't use Misty Step and ruin the scenario you thought up.
No! Don't you see the little structures on the battle map?
Fine. I'll work around it. There must be a trick or something to get to the other hallways.
I'll throw you a bone. Since you've made it to a different intersection, I'll let you check the magic spell in the area once more.
Finally. That's a 19.
There we go. Merrick, you notice that the magic intersections are teleportation circles that link up to other areas of the basement. The magic of the portals is crafted so that it will only link up with something a small distance away, so thankfully, there is no worry that it will teleport you somewhere outside of this basement.
All right. Then I'll run up to the intersection and step into the magic.
The light blinds you for half a second, and you feel yourself being pulled as you would with any other teleportation spell. When you open your eyes, you are still in the basement, but now on the opposite intersection of the map.
Neat. So that's how it works.
Is that it for your turn?
I'm still going to dash forward and around the corner if I can get there. Or, am I allowed to run from one intersection directly to the one below it? Are you going to restrict my movement even more?
You can run directly to the other portal, but it will automatically work when you step on it.
Oh, I'll bet it sends me to the first intersection I jumped over and right back into Ento's line of sight. I want to see where she goes before I make any more decisions.
All right, then it's Ento's turn. She peeks further down the entryway's hallway, but upon seeing that you aren't there, dashes to return to the hallway with the open storage closet and shelf. The first portal is within her line of sight.
So if I step on the portal now, she'll see me. But the side blindness goes both ways, doesn't it? I couldn't Misty Step into the other hallways, so she must not be able to see into them either. Misty Step is a bonus action, but would you let me use it as an action as well, Ben? I'm trying to measure out how far ahead I can move. If I don't do this exactly right, she'll spot me. Oh, I do have an invisibility potion on me. I'll drink that as my action.
You down the potion quickly, watching as your body fades into the background. Merrick, you are now invisible.
Right. Then I'm going to dash to make sure I can make it to this portal.
You can make it to the junction ahead after using the portal, but no further.
But I'm invisible, so no worries.
If that's all, then it's Ento's turn.
Yeah, that's all for me.
Ento glances in the storage closet, and when finding it empty, continues down the hallway. She steps onto the portal, and then materializes far down the hall to the left. She shoves her head into the greenhouse to look for you, but finds it empty.
Where did you run off to?
Now we're back to you, Marrack.
I'm almost there. Do I need to dash to get to the finish line?
It doesn't matter either way.
All right, so I'm here. Now what? Divita asked me to get away from Ento for a second, and I did.
Once you make it to the hall, a circle of magic appears below you and shoots up purple flames, encasing you in a ring of fire. Strangely, you feel no heat from the magic. The fire is some sort of illusion or a means to block eavesdropping.
You did it. Well done.
Yeah, not to be rude or anything, but this basement is set up a little weird. Thankfully, I used it to my advantage and slipped away from Ento.
I've hidden you from her for the moment. I wanted to speak with you in private.
Of course, I'm listening.
You have settled into your new powers well. I'm glad to see that.
Ah, yeah, it's working out well for me. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't want to have small talk, so what is going on?
I have a request to make of you as your patron. It is something only you can do.
I expected this when I took the pact. What's the request?
I want you to kill me.
Sorry, repeat that?
I want you to kill me. This is the request.
I have a lot of questions. Why do you want me to kill you? Also, how am I supposed to do that? Do you want me to fireball you right here?
You can't do it yet. You will have to call my corporeal form to Harmonia in order to end me. And you should not do it until you are ready to leave this land. Since when I die, my protective magic around you will also disappear.
And because undead disappear here regularly, there's a chance I will disappear as well. But still, why do you want me to do this?
She pauses, thinking over her answer.
There is much to Harmonia that I do not understand. And even more when you consider the link between Melodia and Harmonia. I believe my death will solve many of the problems plaguing this land. But even if it didn't, I've thought long and hard about it. I cannot keep raising everyone as undead. I am tired. I want it to be over. I want to end this link and this existence that I do not understand.
But why did you not want Ento to hear all of this?
She will try to keep me alive for as long as possible. The one who owns her will make sure of it. I am not allowed to die.
The one who guides her. Who is that person?
I can't exactly remember. Each time I try to recall it, I'm met with 1,000 lifetimes of blurry memories. That is why I need you, Merrick. I need you and your friends. You must be my sword. The sword that can finally pierce an impenetrable shield and put an end to things.
Well, I'm a warlock, so your wish is my command.
Yes, and once it is all over, you'll be free from the pact.
I see. Once I meet up with my old friends, I'll have to find a way to tell them this without Ento knowing.
She will suspect as time goes on, but I have faith that you will find a way. I am entrusting my life to you, Marrack. Thank you.
And that will conclude this week's special episode. Thank you very much for tuning in and letting us catch up with Merrick to see what he's been up to.
At least I'm not completely out of the campaign. I'm missing my buds. Well, 2 of them. We'll see how I feel about Donald and Donna.
This has been a short episode, but I wanted to keep it as just a Marrack catch-up time. We'll pick up next time with the main party as they explore this entirely new region. Leave a like and a comment on the video letting us know what you thought, and we'll see you again very soon.